I just got done going through Patrick Carnes's The Recovery Zone Volume 1 with a group of guys. And in the end, one of the things he talks about is, yeah, our addiction was a bargain with chaos. It takes away the overwhelm. It helps you to manage. And I sometimes tell people, of course, it helped you to survive your childhood and not be overwhelmed and not be locked up somewhere. It worked in that way. But the bargain you made to do that created all this other chaos.
Mhm.
And it has done that. What I think about addictions, and like from my own experience, it's interesting because does it always feel out of control? And my initial answer is, yeah, I mean, I look back and it was like completely out of control.
Look back though.
Yes, with that
Exactly.
perspective.
I don't think that in the midst of it, I felt as out of control. There were moments where it felt out of control. There were aspects of it that seemed out of control. But I also remember very distinctly having a conversation with a close friend of mine who was saying, "Oh, I get it. It's kind of an addiction." And I remember saying, "This is not an addiction."
Yeah.
Until, like 5, 10 years later, it was like, yeah, this might be an addiction. So if there's this kind of compulsive pattern going on and I'm in control and I get to do what I want and I feel good about it and this whole I didn't do anything I didn't want to do.
Yeah. And I think there's another piece, right? Especially with this particular person that wrote in about this person is, I guess the question that I would ask would be, okay, great. You've got a high-powered job. You're using the addiction, get your hit off of that's fine, or whatever we want to call it. And you're making a lot of money. Let's just assume you're making a lot of money. You've got really beautiful cars and vacations, everything. Are you happy?
Yeah.
Are you happy? And I think that could be the cutting
Mm.
edge of the question. Let's not talk about you being out of control or in control or whatever. What are you feeling?
Yeah. But I also think that's a little bit of a loaded question because we have to clarify it because happiness doesn't mean that you're entertained in the moment.
You're
Happiness,
talking about serenity or like a depth to it,
True joy,
exactly.
right? True
joy.
Because,
joy.
I know a lot of people that have a lot of money that buy a lot of stuff, they do a lot of things. They're not satisfied by that. It doesn't stick.
Right.
It doesn't give them a sense of peace and calm and I would say and true happiness in their core.
Yeah, and the distinction between happiness and excitement. You can be excited about something, and how does that differ from happiness?
When you were talking, Wendy, one of the things that came up to my mind is the difference between my own perception and an external, other people looking at things and making sense of it. We see this in our office all the time. I do. I assume you do as well. People that walk in there like, I don't think that this is a problem. The example that always comes up for me is not porn. Yeah, I'm looking at this. It's not pornography, therefore it's okay. And from their perception, it's fine. But from an outside perception, we can look at that behavior and say, it's still fitting into the same patterns as everything that was going on in your addiction, and it's going to lead you to the same place. And so part of what I think gets inherent in this question about the high functioning addicts is maybe their ego defenses are just so well developed that while people from the outside can look at them and say, this behavior is problematic and it's going to take you to a really dark place, their internal perception is, I don't feel like I'm out of control at all and everything's great.